So in the last video, we looked at the three fundamental forces in the standard model of particle physics. We had electromagnetism, the weak force, and the strong force. We also noted that the standard model of particle physics does not include gravity, but that's not a major issue. Now, not every particle that's around us, or what makes up the universe, interacts via all of these forces. And certain groups of particles are defined by the forces they do or do not interact by. The said particles called leptons, and these are defined to be particles which do not interact by the strong force. So any particle which does not interact by the strong force is called a lepton. This excludes the gauge bosons, which mediate the forces and which we talked about in the last video. There are 6 leptons in the standard model of particle physics, ignoring antiparticles, and they come in 3 generations. You have the electron and its associated neutrino, the muon and its associated neutrino, and the tauon and its associated neutrino. Now, neutrinos are probably something you may or may not have heard of, but they are in fact very prevalent in our universe. It turns out if you hold your thumb like this, about 100 billion neutrinos are passing through your thumb now every second. But they're incredibly weakly interacting. There's an experiment in Antarctica which is using part of the ice sheet of Antarctica just to try and detect these very weakly interacting particles. The sun generates these in massive quantities. So in the last video I talked about how the weak force is responsible for some of the decays that have occurred in the sun. These decays produce neutrinos, or some of them produce neutrinos, which when they reach our Earth, travel through us. Leptons also include the electron, as I mentioned, and electrons are also very prevalent. Everything around us is made of atoms, and the atom contains 2 central bits. It contains the nucleus in the middle and the electrons which orbit the outside. Now, the electron is orbiting the nucleus by the electromagnetic force. This is because both the nucleus and the electron are charged. They interact by the electromagnetic force. And it turns out the electron is responsible for most of chemistry. So swapping of electrons is basically associated with chemical reactions. So those are the leptons in the standard model of particle physics.